Time to trade Zion Williamson already? I mean, he was the number one pick in the 2019 draft, right? Let me say, first of all, it's crazy that I'm making this video. 2 years after Zion being drafted, 2+ years, being a generational talent, and there's an argument for the Pelicans to trade him. What's up, your boy Eric, aka Doc, here from Triple Play Fantasy, making another YouTube short. Seems like they're all about NBA trades, but I'm going to tell you guys why I think the Pelicans need to trade Zion Williamson. So the first, we're going to look at the record by season. So we look Zion's rookie year in 2019-2020. The Pelicans were 30-42. That was the shortened pandemic season. Then we look at the 2021 season. That's the one after initial 72 games. They're 31-41. And currently this year, through 16 games, they're 2-14. They have no playoff or play-in appearances. So they're not even an 8 to 10 seed in a pretty loaded Western Conference. And it's not like things are going to get better because you look at the salary cap that they're at for the team. Now, this year, they're doing pretty well. They're 28th in salary cap, so they've been pretty good with spending. But if you look next year, they're going to be last year they were 28th. This year, they're 15th in cap space. Next year, they're going to be 14th. And the year after that, they're going to be 14th in cap space. Now, keep in mind, this is without re-signing Zion yet or signing him to a contract extension. So when they do, and he's probably going to want big money based on what he's shown, that's going to vault them into the top 10. And are they going to be a contender after a 2-14 record, Zion the missing piece? Remains to be seen. And you're going to break it down and look at some of the player contracts. So Brandon Ingram is in the second year of a 5-year, $158 million max extension that he signed. Obviously, he seems to be the heart and soul of the team. Jonas Valanciunas was a trade piece that they got from the Memphis Grizzlies. He's in the first year of a 3-year, $45 million extension. Josh Hart, they signed this offseason to a 3-year, $37.9 million extension. Devontae Graham in the first year of a 4-year, $47.3 million extension. Garrett Temple in the first year of a 3-year, $14.6 million extension. And Jackson Hayes, who has 2 years and $12 million left on his rookie deal, making about $6 per year. And then they have to decide if they want to keep him. So a lot of these recent players they've signed are going to be in their immediate future unless they can move them from their contracts. So you have to think about with Zion, are you going to want to commit Brandon Ingram type money and be hamstrung with cap space for the foreseeable future? But that's not the only reason. And with Zion, he's synonymous with injuries. We're going back to 2019 during his time at Duke and the famous game against North Carolina, where in the first couple minutes he blows through his shoe and he sprains his knee. He's out 3 weeks. Well, during the summer league after getting drafted, he gets a knee injury the first game and he doesn't play. So they take it safe with him. How safe? Well, he ends up tearing his meniscus in preseason and he misses the first 44 games. He was pretty good 2020, but we're going to go to 2021. And in April, he had a thumb sprain where he missed a few games. In May of 2021, he had a fractured left ring finger, ended up missing the final 6 games. And in summer 2021, had a fractured foot, and he has yet to play this season. And who knows if the Pelicans are going to rush him back. Now, between his fractured foot, the torn meniscus, the knee injury, and the knee sprain, that's a lot of lower body injuries to somebody Zion's physique and Zion's size, which is going to bring me to my next point of his body. And this is kind of the people beat around the bush, but right now he's listed at 284, but he's reportedly gotten up to 317. Now, this is a quote from J.J. Redick from his podcast. Now, remember, J.J. Redick was a former teammate of Zion. And he said, Zion has to be in better shape. That's not a secret, and he's got to get healthy. So Zion's a young player, and a lot of times they don't take their body as seriously. They've gotten by on natural talent and just having, the physique and the size that he has. But in the NBA, you really have to do a good job of taking care of your body to be durable. Now, this quote is from Shams Charania from The Athletic, and they're talking about his progression. And it's on both doctors, on Zion's side, on the Pelicans side. Because I'm told not only the bone isn't fully healing yet, he needs to be in game shape as well, and he's just not there yet. So to me, that provides a lot of concern. The fact that not only is the bone heel or the bone fracture progressing in your foot where you're constantly running and jumping up and down the court, but he's not even in the condition as well, which makes you worry about his diet, his work ethic, whether this is something that he can fix in the future or not. Now, keep in mind he is 22 years old, so he's pretty young. But I think what the Pelicans need to do is they need to get value while they can. They're a 2-14 team net right now. Zion isn't going to be the difference. He's played 85 games in 2 seasons, averaging about 30 minutes per game. And the best ability is durability. And if he hasn't proven that, well, you probably want to get some trade value while you can. So I did a couple trade scenarios, and look, whether these are going to happen or not, I'm just kind of floating them out. The first is the Pelicans are trading Zion Williamson and Devontae Graham in kind of a salary cap matching move. The Hawks are going to trade Cam Reddish, DeAndre Hunter, Danilo Gallinari for the contract matching purposes, and a future first. So if you're the Hawks or if you're the Pelicans, you get a little bit more rebuilding. You get some young talent with Cam Reddish and DeAndre Hunter on their rookie deals. You get out of the Gallinari contract as he has a shorter one. And if you're the Hawks, you get a backup point guard for Trae Young. And I think them making the Eastern Conference Finals, you only trade for Zion if you're somewhat of a championship contender, as you will have to pay him. The second is with the Knicks. Man, wouldn't Zion be good in New York? That's box office, as Stephen A says. So in this scenario, the Pelicans are going to trade Zion. The Knicks, they're going to trade either Obi Toppin or Kevin Knox, kind of their young small forwards where they seem to have a building block. Emmanuel Quickly, a good young guard. Right now they have a logjam with Derrick Rose and Kemba Walker, so this way they get more playing time. And a future first. I think it helps the Pelicans in the future. Obviously, once again, you're getting young talent on cheap deals, and you're starting to get those draft picks back. And if you're the Knicks, he's kind of that scorer that you need. You have a lot of depth with Julius Randle, with the point guards as mentioned. You have good defense with Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel, RJ Barrett. So I think you have 3 good lefties that can play the front court. The last scenario is the Miami Heat, and they're going to give up Tyler Hero, 2 firsts and 2 seconds. Now, I know Pat Riley doesn't usually give as much on trades. He's a little bit more frugal. But since there's less players given up in the deal and they will have to pay Tyler Hero, and Miami's picks are probably going to be later in the first and second just because they're a notoriously good team. Right now, I think they're 9-5 in the East. But I think Zion is an improvement over Tyler Hero. Both when healthy, Tyler Hero is a great player. But you keep Duncan Robinson, who's kind of a similar player, on there. You can have him learn under Jimmy Butler. Victor Oladipo is going to come back healthy. Bam Adebayo. I don't think you need as much star power. And then Garrett Temple, just a proven veteran. So those are the 3 trade scenarios I had. I had one with Memphis. I thought it would have been kind of fun to pair him and Ja Morant together as the first and second picks of the 2019 draft. But I don't think Memphis is in a position to trade for him right now. And I wanted to have some realistic scenarios. But regardless of whether the Pelicans take any of these deals or whether they're listening to some offers, I really think they do because they're not going to get any better. And the worst thing for an NBA team is to be in cap casualty and not have a chance of winning. So, Pelicans, if you're watching this video, I think it's time to trade Zion. I think it's time to start picking up the phone. For those watching, let me know your comments and the thoughts. Do you like the trade scenarios? Should the Pelicans keep him and try trading someone else? Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.